Rundown of what else is happening news-wise. Charlotte, with those details, what have you got?
Thanks, Eamon. Well, Tony Blair has become the latest high-profile victim of the volcanic ash chaos. The former Prime Minister is stranded in Israel, compromising his role in Labour's election campaign.
Thank you, Charlotte. Front pages of this after Charlotte with a rundown of what else is happening.
Thanks very much, Eamon. And Tony Blair has become the latest high-profile victim of the volcanic ash chaos. The former Prime Minister is stranded.
Thanks, Charlotte. We're going through the newspapers now. Stand by for your views on this. Charlotte monitoring those throughout the morning. James Whale.
Island. We need to get in and out of this island. And all those people who've been going on about, you know, oh, we're gonna stop flying to help global. Now we see we
have to get serious about this.
We're going to have to get high-speed ships, you know, the kind of bulbs at the moment. This is the worst time it could happen, of course, during an election. Have not
it was the leaders' debate day, wasn't it?
Well, I'm sorry, yes, but you know,
Sky News were very quick out of the blocks with that one, I have to say. I know what you mean.
Relevance of this, and one of the guys said that this is the little one. Next to it,
Portugal or Spain at the moment.
The weather,
the weather's awful there. It's much warmer in Britain than it is in Spain or Portugal.
We talked. I fixed up for a pilot. You said no. Apparently, these dogs are kept in a shed in the back of the house. It is not saying, well, I can't keep my eye on the kids and the dog.
Well, I mean, I think it's happening younger and younger. I think it is awful that girls, particularly girls as young as 7 years old, are wanting to, because it's coming from the girls as well as, you know, and their friends, and that's the trouble, when they all want to look older.
Especially from the media.
But you see, the mothers and the daughters really don't see anything sexual in this, do they? That's the thing, is it?
But unfortunately, there are others who do. More stories and more opinions from the papers today. For the moment, James, thank you very much indeed. That was the disappearance of Alice Creed. There's also been the disappearance of Jackie Beltrao, who is stuck in mainland Europe, couldn't get back from her ski holiday.
No.
Could you imagine the person that had to break the news to her that said, your plane will not be leaving the airport, you're on a bus? Could you imagine, Rob?
I don't know where that bus has got to.
But very nice to see you off the subs bench this morning. Coaches are at a premium these days. Charlotte, what are folks saying?
Well, lots of people getting in touch with their stories about how the ash has affected them. Charles and Lisa are stranded in Tel Aviv, and they say we should have flown home yesterday, but are being forced to travel over the right decision whether to fly or not, and are not being swayed by the economic effects. So lots of people there. Barbie in South Africa, surely it's better to err on the side of caution than to have planes falling out of the sky. Jason in Leicester points out a different spin on the ash crisis. Perhaps it's a good thing, as aviation is bad for global warming. So there we are.
I think the globe has been warmed quite enough by the volcanoes. I don't think the aviation will matter one way or the other. John Gaunt, also a casualty, our newspaper reviewer. He's, well, small blessings and all of that. Thank you very much indeed. More comments coming in. Keep the solutions coming in, what you think. After Charlotte with a rundown of what else is happening news-wise. What have you got?
Thanks, Eamon. Well, Tony Blair's become the latest high-profile victim of the volcanic ash chaos. The former Prime Minister's stranded in Israel.
Thank you, Charlotte. Let's have a look at the... James Whale is here to go through the stories in the papers with you today from LBC. Good to see you, James.
Good to be here.
And the air crisis and the fact that, well, it's a good job you didn't have to fly here, because you couldn't have.
No.
There's a backlash.
There is a backlash. You know, this is an international emergency, and I said before, I am 4 days after this happened. 4 days. And we were talking just before. You say, who I upset, really, but I've no interest in going to Dubai. I won't be going there, and I suggest you don't.
So they're failing to clock as regards pensions.
Well, here's another one that's getting me really annoyed today. How do you fancy retiring? If you're a police chief, you get 5 million. Civil servants, 1
You don't get pet insurance.
Well,
and in this particular case, why should you put the dog... Why would they just
didn't
put the
have
dog
insurance.
down?
Yeah, but should
well,
the
in that
vet...
case, there are other places that you can go where people can help
an onus on the vet to have, you know,
You
no,
can't
otherwise that would put a whole
look, I'm
huge
getting
amount
fed
of
up with
people
it. No, I'm getting fed up with this.
Then you can't... If you crash your car and you get a big bill for that, then, oh, you shouldn't have a car because you can't afford the bill if you have a big crash.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a one-off thing that happens as a very rare occurrence.
No.
That shouldn't put you off.
No. If you look, if you're going to have a dog, it's one of the most expensive things. You've got a dog.
I have got a dog.
Have you got insurance?
I have got insurance.
Fantastic.
But she's a responsible owner, I suppose. But
the dog was this dog had to have a cesarean. Don't think about having them.
James, we've got to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. That's James Whale, in case you didn't recognise him in a shirt and tie this morning. Thank you.
Fascinated you, me wearing a tie, hasn't it? I'm going to do it.
Very respectable. Sky News Sunrise. Though it's just a pity that James Whale has left the building, because there's so many emails and tweets coming in response.
Quite a big response.
There's a surprise.
Yes. Now, I do have to say, for all of those who say, oh, he doesn't talk sense or whatever, there is an equal number, if not more, people who say James Whale should be Prime Minister. But on the air travel chaos, what have you got, Charlotte?
Well, we've got lots, actually, from sort of differing opinions. Peter and Carolyn in Tenerife have got in touch to say the situation for British passengers is grim. Some hotels here have made a killing because of the situation. They say they've let a family stay in their apartment for no cost, but they feel it should be the responsibility of the airlines to do something to get people back home. Felicity Brooks got in touch. She's stranded in Hong Kong. She says should have been flying home Friday. Flight has been delayed till at least Wednesday. She's going to miss her first university exam. Jan in Halifax says, my family are stranded in Spain. They should have got home on Saturday. Can't get a flight until the 28th of April and they're running out of money. Quite a few people getting in touch who are stranded here in the UK. Chandra says, I've been stranded in London for several days, supposed to change flight en route to Texas. What about the plight of those us non-Britons stuck here in the UK? And we've had an increasing number of those, actually, from people who are saying they're stuck in this country, not able to get home because of the situation as well.
Yeah. David Bailey, good morning to you. He's tweeted me to say I must be coming.
Thanks very much, Eamon. And Tony Blair has become the latest high-profile victim of the volcanic ash chaos. The former Prime Minister is stranded in Israel, compromising his role in Labour's election campaign. Mr Blair's...
Thanks, Charlotte. Sitting in that seat quite a lot is John Gaunt once a week, reviewing newspaper. Well, never mind the disappearance of Alice Creed. What about the disappearance of Jackie Beltrao, who could not get back from her ski trip in mainland Europe?
No.
And who said this air crisis was all bad? It's untrue.
I'm sure she's met...
Poor French bus driver trying to get her home, and she'll be in his ear right now.
I'm sure she's being very tolerant about it all.
Yeah, has she been tweeting today? Get her...
She hasn't yet, no.
She has tweeted it, actually.
Has she?
Yeah, she's saying she's desperately trying to get back.
Crossed. There we go. Here come the sports headlines. Rob with those.
Thank you very much, sir.
No, not at all. What are folks saying as regards this whole crisis, Charlotte?
Well, from a few different viewpoints, actually. James Freeland says, what about people stuck in Britain trying to get to homes around the world? He says, our flight to Johannesburg was cancelled and there's no police. She says, we've been living in plane-free heaven for the first time in years and years. We slept with our bedroom windows open and sat out in the garden all day without earplugs. So some people are making the most of it.
It is spooky, the silence. It really is spooky. Which reminds me, Jackie's medication. Some of us better do something about that. Thanks. We're back in the morning. Do it all again. It's the live desk next.